There they are. There are the pearly whites of my brother Wes. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. We just realized that neither one of us, I should say we're both, only children, but we call each other brothers. So
There
we
we
got
are.
each other.
We got each other, brother.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling Gary and Karen just before we got on pre-show that most people are not surprised if they don't know. And then I finally dropped the quote bomb that I'm an only child because I kind of have been told that, oh, we knew that a long time ago. He didn't tell us. And I don't think it's that I think everything's about me and it's only me. I don't think that's the case. I sort of know that's the case, right? I mean, I do pretend I care, but at the end of the day, not really.
That's right.
What am I going to say? I'm being honest, right? Oh man, you looking good today, buddy.
Well, thank you, and ditto.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I look better on the audio version, but
I look much better on the audio version.
Yeah. So we're back doing something with some people that's become great friends of the show and great friends outside of the show. But the folks from Shield Wall Media, and there's this really weird rumor out there that there's another show coming up here before long in beautiful Gatlinburg, Tennessee, a place I've never been. So
is that right?
They did. I've never been there. Have you?
I have. I was just talking to Gary about it. It's been a long time ago. They built a lot of stuff that I need to get back and see. He was even trying to coax me to sitting in the booth with you. So you never know.
You never know.
I can't drive to Gatlinburg. I'm not allowed to fly, but I could drive there. So who knows? Maybe I will.
There we've done stranger things before.
We have, and you know what? We've had all these people on the show before. As a matter of fact, we just had Gary. It feels like we just spoke, but we always say that people don't come back unless they were either horrible guests or we wanted more information from them, and they were that good. And these people are just that good.
Oh man, no. Now we're going to pay him or something. I wasn't going to go that far.
My Venmo's going to start beeping.
I wasn't going that far with it. I mean, we like them and all, but I mean, come on. Oh, okay. Well, they're sitting in the green room eating absolutely nothing because we're cheap. So we should probably bring them on. What do you think?
Let's get to them.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Boom, here we are back with the gang. Does this get any better than this?
Probably not. I do have a question, though.
Yeah, please.
Are you considered an only child if the rest of your family doesn't admit that you're part of the family?
Well, they haven't admitted it for like 40 years since my dad died 30 some years ago. So they haven't admitted. But my mom and dad, interestingly, liked me. I know it's hard to imagine, but
or so you thought.
Well, so they told me. But see, I was adopted too. So I was an adopted only child.
Oh, there you go.
See?
Well, then it was by choice. So then they probably did like you.
Yeah, they did like me. They bought me at the baby store, but
It makes it harder to get rid of somebody if you're not just stuck with them.
That's true. That's true. They actually, they actually wanted me. They went and went down the bass nest. I'm not sure that I was actually up for adoption. They might have just they couldn't have gotten me because I was the best looking baby because there's no way of that. So I don't know why they chose me. But,
kind of a dine and dash in the nursery. You just kind of grab and go.
I sort of remember it slightly. It was a little traumatic, but we got over it. Took years. Cool. But that's still what's wrong with me. So hey, it's good to have you on. We got my brother Wes on here with us today, and
thanks for having us.
Pardon me.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. We're, as I mentioned earlier, great friends of the show and just great friends in general, and love the Shield Wall Media family. And a rumor has it that there's another show coming up pretty quick. Karen or Gary, what's going on in Gatlinburg? I heard. What's up?
Karen, you can. Okay, we'll
just talk over each other.
We'll both kind of get stuck in the door.
Yeah.
Roll forming show in the middle of September in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So if you can find some place that you want to have some fun, that is a good place for a show.
I've never been, so I'm really looking forward to it. I hear there's loads to do. What is it? Gateway to the Smokies or something like that?
Yep. And like 4 miles from Pigeon Forge, that's got more touristy things to do than you can imagine. And actually had a lot of our exhibitors say that they're renting a big house and just bringing everybody down and making it a vacation for them for the whole week.
Oh, that's nice.
Wonderful.
You know,
Wonderful.
I'm looking forward. I've never been, and I'm actually. I don't think I've got tickets yet. I got so many things going on. I forget sometimes what tickets I've bought and which ones I haven't. But I've got my room. That's the good thing. But I think I'm going to fly into Knoxville. I think and drive over.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes. That's probably
Yeah.
the way to do it.
Yeah, Nashville's got more options, but it's also what 2.5 hour or something, whatever it is from there. So
Yeah,
I'll,
Knoxville's really close, but all the roads, it's mountain roads. So you're going to be driving 20 miles and it's going to take you an hour.
Right. Well, the other problem is I have a little bit of a problem getting flights into Knoxville, but that's okay. You know what? I'll allow plenty of time, and we'll get in the day before and get set up, and I'll be there doing a couple of booths there, and maybe a couple other things with you guys, and looking forward to it. So, Gary, for anybody that's like silly enough not to know what the show is, what it's about, why they should come, what makes your show unique. Let's chat about that a little bit. What's different about the roll forming show, maybe versus shows that other shows that people may go to?
Sure. No, well, there's a couple of things. One of them is it's the only show that's actually dedicated to roll forming for the construction industry. If you go to a show that's all metal forming, what typically happens is it focuses on the really big high-speed manufacturers that do stuff for like automotive parts and things that are an order of magnitude bigger than the pieces that are used in the construction industry. So if you come here, you'll actually see the equipment that's appropriate for the uses that we do. Other thing is we do have a little bit of a different focus to getting boots on the floor. We try to partner up the people that are buying things with the people that are selling things. So you actually have enough time for those two people to talk and have a real conversation instead of, oh, here's somebody going by in the booth. Here's my card. I'll talk to you next week. So those are probably the two biggest things. The other thing to remember too, though, is it's not just for metal forming. One of the nice things is the companies that do roll forming for the construction industry, whether they're doing standing seam or whether they're doing ag panel, R panel, soffits, whatever, they tend to function at a dealer distributor level. So they're people that can buy either your fasteners, your closure strips, your what have you, in a pallet container or truckload lot instead of trying to get a 20-pound box of screws or 2 rolls of underlayment.
Right.
So it's a good way for people to meet that are the people that actually do business together.
Right. Well, that's one thing I've always noticed and enjoyed about your shows, Gary, is that it's set up for exactly what you said. You get to spend a lot of time with the actual people that, I think if I get this right, you use this terminology. I thought he was going to use it. You say it better than I, but the people that sign the front of the check, not the back of the check, right?
Yep, exactly.
Not a negative for the people that signed the back. It's just that as an exhibitor, and I speak for myself, being an exhibitor, at the shows, I do want to spend more time. I'd really talk to 10 people that truly can buy my product than waiting through 350 people that just really want a Snickers candy bar, which I hide because those are mine, but and an ink pen and
I want to go back to you sniffing candy bars. That's
not
just kind of weird.
sniffing. It said Snickers.
Snickers. Okay, I thought you said sniffing candy bars. I was wondering what the heck.
Okay. Karen, what are you telling? Sometimes I sniff them before I eat them.
Well, yeah, you got to check them out.
Make sure what it is.
Meet quality control.
I feel like, Gary, you've been following me around too much. I used to not do that, but I will admit that I'm a candy troll at shows, and I show no. I don't care. I'll walk up to anybody's booth, competitor's booth. I don't care if they got chocolate candy of some type. I'm taking.
But that's what it is, isn't it? It's an icebreaker, and that's a great way to start the conversation.
Nothing better to start a conversation with a competitor walking the booth. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Randy, by the way. And then you open your pocket and you dump all their candy in your sport coat pocket. That
happens the last day of the show. People will go around and get as much of the candy as they can to take with them.
Yep.
Yeah, I just didn't realize you're supposed to wait till the last day, but silly me.
Yeah, well, if you do it on the first day, we refill it so you don't notice.
That's true. And that's why I like when I've had the opportunity, which I think I'm going to be doing in Gatlinburg, at least Missy said I was, is I'll have something a little bit set up over at your booth on the
Yep.
show floor and for my books. And one thing I like about that is when you guys turn your head, I sneak candy, which is always great.
There you go.
No
We'll
need to
make
sneak.
sure we've got enough for you.
Just
Yep.
bring chocolates though. Don't bring hard candies. Not like anything chocolate. Kit
You know
Kats
what? The hard candy is the result of some of the people in the office. There's somebody in the office who's going to remain nameless that is convinced that we need to take grandma candy,
Mm. Yeah.
and that I'm trying to break them of that, but it's an ongoing struggle.
Well, for my 2 cents worth, Wes, do you agree? It should be Snickers, Kit Kats, Hershey. What's those Crunch or not Crunch, but the little crackle ones or whatever they are. The little
Yeah,
yellow
yeah.
package.
Nestle Crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snickers really satisfies, but I'm a Heath bar man myself. I kind of like those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heath is good. Heath is good. And I
And
don't tell the
Reese's.
Reese's. Yeah, Reese's are good, but
Yep.
don't tell the Dixie chick ever this. But I like Dairy Queen Blizzard with Heath, Snickers, and then go ahead a little M&M in there as well. It's only like 3,000 calories, but that's between
Might as well
friends.
load it up if you're gonna indulge.
That's right.
Exactly.
Hey friends, it's Randy here, the owner of Source One Marketing, iBuyFromRandy.com, and I got to tell you, we are proud to sponsor the Building Wins Live podcast and vlogcast. We have 4+ decades in this beautiful industry of supplying materials, supplying services, supplying marketing assistance, and we just are proud to sponsor Building Wins Live and some great guests that we have every single week, many of them from our beloved industry and many of them from outside the industry that still bring some incredible content. So make sure to check us out at iBuyFromRandy.com and let us know what you think about this show. For now, thanks for checking this out. Let's get back to the show.
So Gary or Karen, I meant to say, I'm sorry.
We
you're
look
the chief-
alike. It's an
You
honest
do. There's a
mistake.
lot of similarities, which I'm a little sorry, Karen. You're definitely the better looking of the two. But, yes, chief editor, you edited. Tell us the magazines that you're in charge with, and actually tell us the magazines that Shield Wall does in general for anybody that doesn't know that. If people don't realize that if they come to the shows and don't get your magazine, they may think of you as a show people only, but you're so much more than that. You're so many of the great magazines in the industries, great shows. You do a lot of research, a lot of other things for the industry. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with that, Karen.
Right. Well, our magazines, our brands are, they're focused on just niche areas of the construction industry that were at one point underserved, and there was a need. So we currently publish 7 magazines. We've got Plain Builder, Rural Builder. Rural Builder is our legacy magazine. It's been around since 1967. Metal Roofing has been around for 25 years. So we've got that going on. Roofing Elements. Metal Builder is one of the newer ones. And the Roll Forming magazine, like the show, it's all about construction roll forming. So we do have some roll forming coverage in Metal Roofing, Metal Builder, and Rural Builder because it's a part of all low-rise construction. If metal is involved, you have to form it, and there's always an opportunity. And the really great thing about the roll forming show is it's a great place for those people who are trying to determine, are they buying enough materials? Are they at that tipping point where it would make more sense for them to produce their panels, their trims on their own rather than outsourcing, rather than getting them from a supplier? And here we is where metal roofing and roll forming fit so nicely together. Is metal roofing, it's the users of those materials, the installers, the companies that put the stuff together, and roll forming is those companies that make the stuff. So at some point or another, there are quite a few companies that go from just being an installer to manufacturing their own for themselves and selling for selling to other companies as well.
Yeah.
So the roll forming show is where everybody comes together, the manufacturers, the component suppliers, fasteners, sealants, everybody is there who can answer the questions to those people who, at what point do I want to become a manufacturer? And then the people who have been in the industry, they can find out what's going on, what's coming down the road. They can talk with people from around the country and determine not only, they know what's going on in their own area, but say somebody in Pennsylvania, what's going on in the Dakotas, what's going on in Missouri. So they all of our pieces, they all fit together nicely. But the one thing that they all have in common is they all serve businesses.
Mhm.
And in determining, and as an editor, I need to determine what information people need, what information they want in the magazines and on the websites and all those things. So the show, it's my opportunity to talk with people and get that information, because people are busy. They don't want to, they might flip through the magazine and see the my little note in there that says, hey, if you got a tip, give me a call. They're busy. But if they're taking a break and walking the show, run into me and say, hey, you know what, Karen, you should do this or you should do that. And I'll say, I'm going to write that down.
Well, I think that's a great idea, and I love the fact that you have magazines, all your magazines on the table, on the show floor, along with your Max Builds series, which we'll talk about with Gary or something in a minute. But I think people should make sure that when they're at the show, stop by the Shield Wall booth, pick up the magazines, and meet Karen, because Karen and I have known each other, been friends for years now, and you really are open to giving the people what they want, as opposed to just.
I'm a people pleaser. I want to make everybody happy, and that's why
make me happy.
Whenever I tell some people, is like, hey, do you get our magazines? Are you familiar with our magazines? Well, no. How much is it? And I was like, it's free. That's the best thing. Is not only do you get helpful information or entertaining or whatever information, but it doesn't cost you anything. Just fill this card out, drop it in the box, and you don't even need a stamp.
There you go. And you get to meet Karen Knapstein. Or is it Knapp? I always get that wrong.
I answer to anything.
I just go with Karen K.
That works for me.
Gary calls you other things, but I'm going to be nice.
Not to her face.
What?
Actually, I said not to her face, but yeah, actually it would.
Well, you have. I've heard it a couple
He's very
times.
open and honest.
Not very nice. So Gary, one of the things that I love about the show too is you have educationals, panels, you have opportunities for people to spend time to learn different things about the industry, to ask questions. And I think that's a point, two things that gets missed, I think, at a lot of shows, is taking advantage of the educationals, taking advantage of the time before them. The 15, 20 minutes before you go in the room. Yeah, and I'm going to say this for vendors, because you and I've talked about the fact, and I want to talk about the passes, right, and making use of passes if you're a supplier. What a great opportunity! But the best place to be, in my opinion, if you're a rep, and so gang, if you're a rep and you're watching this and you come to the show, the best place in the whole place to be is when people are getting a coffee and a muffin or something before going into the educationals, because everybody's there. They're milling around. It's a non-sales opportunity. You don't have to be all salesy and all that. You just get to meet people and talk to people and introduce yourself. And I think that Gary talk about that, Gary, but that's a big part of the show too, right? It's not just walking up to the booth and looking at some widget and giving the guy a card and walking away, right?
Well, the social part of it's a huge part of the show. It gives you an opportunity to network with people and not do it in quite as formal of a setting. That's one of the reasons that we put the emphasis that we do on the social that we do on Wednesdays, because we kind of go a little bit over the top on that in food and everything else that we do to make it a good experience. But that's so that the people have an opportunity to talk. And I think that goes back to the educational programming as well, and not just the continental breakfasts and whatnot that we do the mornings before the show, but it gives you or the attendees a foot in the door. If most of the people that present will spend both days somewhere at the show, whether it happens to be me or Karen or somebody that's an engineer for one of the exhibitors or Randy or whoever, guaranteed, if you see them, they will be more than happy to expound on anything that they did in their educational presentation. And there's an old line in a live album that somebody did that said, everybody goes to a show to hear that one song. And this gives you the opportunity that whenever you watch the educational part, if you get that one song, if you've got that one answer that you're looking for, this puts a face with the person that you need to go up to so that you can actually take 5 minutes and get that answer. And one of the things, that's the reason that it's structured the way that it is. If we're at the social on Wednesday and you wanted to learn how to be a fantastic salesperson because you saw Randy's presentation, you can actually go up to Randy and go, hey, Randy, I've got a question about this. And you'll get an answer. And that's probably, at least in my opinion, as valuable or more valuable than anything that you're going to get in the educational programming, because you know the specifics of what you need. And part of the reason things are structured the way they are is so that you've got the opportunity to get those answers.
So well said, because I've always been a believer in that, and this, you understand that because you talked about the social, incredible food, incredible layout. Wes might not get invited back because I think he ate 12 times what he should have. So
It was good food.
It was good food, but it's I think a mission that I've been on lately is a kick. A mission is the show is so much. The booth is part of it, right? That's a big part of it, but that's a 5 minute. You look at a widget, and in your case, you don't have to shoot the badge because you supply all the exhibitors all the information, which makes it even better. But that's only a small part of it. Think about if you talk to somebody at the Continental Breakfast or talk to one of the speakers. Then, like you said, you see him on the show floor. Then you see him at the social. All of a sudden, you're building a relationship that lasts beyond just the show. That relationship goes with you when you leave Gatlinburg, right? And it takes you to, you run into them at MetalCon together, and all of a sudden, I saw you at the Roll Forming show, and now here you are again, and you strike up those conversations, right? And those things live on and on and on. And I think it's silly to go there and look at it as just one show, right? It's a part of the overall being involved in the industry. That's my take.
No, I would agree. And you also tend, or at least I do, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I learn more almost accidentally talking to people than I do going to formal presentations. And I mean, we've either done business or been friends, or Karen's watched me. I come up with some just really weird freaking ideas, and it doesn't come up from sitting in. You learn a lot sitting in a classroom setting and learning from the people that are the experts, but that's not where the out of the box stuff comes from. And having an opportunity to talk with other people about what they're seeing, what solutions they found, what they need to have happen, is the only way that real solutions that are different than the ones that other people have already tried. That's the only way that stuff comes up.
Right. And the interesting thing is, and we've all talked about that in the past, and it happens in school, it happens in every aspect of life, meetings, sales meetings, trade show, educationals, is everybody's afraid to ask a question, right? Because they think it's stupid or people are going to laugh. But I think there's a real truth to this. and Wes is involved a lot in the safety world and with manufacturers and different things that he does. And if one person has a question, I can guarantee you,
Yeah.
there's 20 more people in there. They're sitting there like this. They want to raise their hand. They want to ask, but they're afraid to ask. So if you ask the question, it's probably not stupid, because if you have it, I can guarantee you, Wes, do you agree? There's somebody else in that room's got the same question.
Sorry about that. I was muted.
You sounded better that way, by the way.
The answer to that is a resounding yes. And what happens a lot of times is people will put their hands up. Someone will ask a question and you'll see 9 hands go down. And the reason why is because they probably had a very similar question. So the other thing is that a lot of times the question that you think is goofy is on, so many different minds in some different way or another that, that's an absolute truth.
Yeah, it is. And one thing that, and Karen, we'll talk to Missy when I talk to her, because I know she couldn't make it today, but the show director, but the panel discussion we have every year, and you guys are silly enough to let me moderate. I don't know why, but anyway, are we looking for questions for that still? I assume, Gary.
Yes.
I mean, if people want to, we always have some questions that are kind of general questions, but and people ask during the show, or during the panel, which is always good.
Right.
Right.
But we always walk in with some questions that were sent to us ahead of time, and we start the panel off answering those questions. Like you gentlemen said, one person has that question, countless others have the same question, and when we can walk into that room and have those questions, then somebody else doesn't have to raise their hand in the audience and put themselves out there. So we try to make it easy for people to get the answers that they want, the answers that they need, and when they see the forum itself and how open it is, and it I don't know about you, Randy, but I think that and the ones that we've had at our shows, I think it was a pretty comfortable atmosphere, very very low key, very informal. And we had some really great questions not only come off the cards that were sent in, but the ones that the audience brought up. So, yeah.
I agree 100%. I think it is for anybody that comes and afraid to, it's very low key, very conversational. Just bring up the question, because a lot of times one question leads into another question. One panel member answers it, and then another panel member kicks something in. Then somebody else in the audience asks a little bit or a follow up, and it becomes this strangely weird thing called a conversation, right? And all of a sudden, it's not really designed to be these few people up on a stage in front of the room lecturing anybody,
right,
at all. It's designed to answer questions and to take questions and to enter into conversations. And at the end of the day, it'd be a perfect panel if that's all it was a nonstop conversation back and forth between people, right? That's where answers get given and get resolved, and people feel comfortable. But so, Karen, one last thing I'd have for you is
Sure.
How do people get the magazine subscriptions? Because you can do magazine, you can have them sent to you. You can get them online.
Right.
Do they just go to shieldwallmedia.com? Is that what they want to do?
Right. Go to shieldwallmedia.com, and you can subscribe there to get either digital or print magazines, or both, depending on what your preferred mode of consuming information is. We try to be there where and when people need us. And like I said, they're free to anybody in the industry. And heck, we even have we publish phone numbers, so if somebody wants to give us a call and subscribe, they can do it that way too. And since they're free, no credit card information required, no check to mail in or anything like that.
It's so easy. So
Mhm.
easy. Perfect. Well, Karen, tell Gary we can't hear him. So if he's, I
Okay.
don't know if he can hear you or not, but if he wants to chime in, you can ask him a question. Otherwise, we'll kind of wrap this up for today, because we're going to bring Missy back, the show director, before too long, and chat about a little bit more specifics on the show and so forth. But final words, Karen, on the show, other than it's Gatlinburg, Tennessee, September 16, 17. What's we usually do a should ask question, but we can call this a should ask question. What should people ask
Absolutely.
Karen Knapstein, chief
Right.
editor, candy bar bringer, and
Right.
extraordinaire,
Right.
about the show?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the dates and location, you nailed those. And who should be there? People who manufacture metal for the low-rise construction industry, people who use it and may be looking at expanding into manufacturing those components for themselves. That's the best place to learn about it, is
Perfect.
at that show.
And maybe just real quick, Karen, since before we leave, there's 2 or 3 hotels right next to the convention center. I know there's the Marriott. I think you guys are saying you said the Margaritaville something or other. What's
Mhm.
the? I know those are all on the website, but
Yep, yep. Yeah, looks like Glenstone Lodge and Black Bear Inn and Suites. And and I should mention that in the latest edition of Roll Forming magazine, we are publishing a map of downtown Gatlinburg, and it is very walkable. You can walk any place you want downtown. It's from the hotels to the convention center. So once you get there, being there is going to be a piece of cake to enjoy yourself and learn some things and come away from Gatlinburg all the more richer.
there you go.
There's
And
there's a trolley that goes around downtown all the places too.
Awesome.
The Black Bear is right next to the convention center. The other one is also, but the other one actually has an indoor pool and a play place area for kids. So if you're deciding to make this a family vacation and take in your whole family, I think it's the Glenstone is the other one, but that one's got a pretty good indoor play place. Like if you're old, you remember the old Holiday Inn Holodomes. That's kind of what it looks like.
perfect.
Awesome. Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, 'cause
And just to
Okay.
get a really quick plug in here, the brand new Max Builds book, Max Builds Barn Dominium, will be available at this show.
Nice.
So that's the third one in the series.
That's a great series. I don't know if Gary can hear me, but is Max going to be there again?
Yeah, Matt, the dog or my son?
Well,
My
either.
my son should be there. So Max 2 legs will be there. Max 4 legs won't.
Oh, okay. I like Max 4 legs, but we'll settle for Max 2 legs then.
There you go.
All right. Perfect, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate you being on. Look forward to seeing you in Gatlinburg, and everybody else there watching or listening. Come to Gatlinburg if you have any interest at all in the post or in the post frame world too, but in the metal roofing, construction roll forming world. This is a show you got to be at. So come see us. That's it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being on.
we'll see you there.
Thanks for having
All right.
us.
Love it. Always. There you go, folks. The folks from Shield Wall Media. The Construction Roll Forming Show, as we said, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, September 16, 17, downtown Gatlinburg. I'm excited to be there. I will take donations on candy bars if you want to bring some with you, because I allow myself to be free with candy at the show. So that's important to me. Love what you do and do what you love. That's what we're doing right now. And hey, go make today the best day ever. Till tomorrow. Cheers.